The most widely used measurement service we host is the Network Diagnostic Tool, or NDT. But what is NDT measuring, and how is that similar or different to other tests and other data sources? NDT is a single stream performance measurement of bulk transport capacity, as mentioned in the definition slide. You may or may not have heard those words before, so let's break them down. Bulk transport capacity refers to the rate that a link can deliver data with TCP. TCP's job is to get packets over the link in a reliable way, in order, and in the way that they were supposed to be sent. TCP works with the Internet Protocol, or IP, to do this, but the Internet Protocol doesn't care about what order the packets are sent in. So NDT is asking the question, at what rate can TCP do its job? For example, it's measuring the reliability of that link. Something that can be confusing about this is that some other internet performance tests measure what's called the link capacity, or a measurement of the maximum bit rate of that link. In other words, just how many packets can be sent across that link over time, whereas the bulk transport capacity being measured in NDT is referring to the rate at which the link can send data just with TCP. Both link capacity and bulk transport capacity contribute toward the speed experienced by people, but there isn't really an agreed upon definition of what that means. There are many ways to measure different aspects of a connection. So this can make things confusing for people when we're talking about taking an internet speed test and trying to understand why one of those tests provides a certain result and a different test, like MLab's test, provides a different result. The answer is probably because they're measuring different things. So when you're using MLab data, and more specifically NDT data, it's important to keep in mind this definition of what NDT measures, which is the bulk transport capacity, as opposed to the link capacity, which other tests may be measuring. The other part of the definition is that NDT measures the single stream performance. On any given internet connection, we're all opening up multiple TCP streams as we browse the internet. Why does NDT then measure using a single TCP stream? Well, the reason is to try to understand what's happening on a single stream baseline level so that we don't capture the ways in which a multi-stream test might compensate for packet loss. When we're measuring bulk transport capacity, we're trying to understand how well TCP does its job. If it's losing packets, it's not really doing its job so well. So NDT is measuring using a single stream to understand how TCP is operating on that baseline. Then we can start looking at how multi-stream might operate. If we were to only use a multi-stream test, that test might not reveal the impacts of packet loss on the connection. To give it a little bit more context, we get this question all the time. Why are MLab's tests different than other internet speed test results? The answer seems too simple, but it's true that they are measuring different things. So in summary, keep in mind the things that characterize NDT data and more broadly, MLab data. NDT measurements are different from other MLab measurement services and from the results of other platforms' tests. All MLab measurement services inherit the properties of our off-net server platform. And NDT measures the single stream performance of bulk transport capacity. If you're interested in learning more, you can read about this subject in the blog post that's linked on this slide. Okay, so now you've heard all about NDT and what it's measuring. Let's look at how to run NDT tests now. Because the test is open source, it can be used in many ways. We call these integrations or test clients. Here I'm showing several test clients on this slide, all of which use the NDT measurement service. We'll try them out in a moment. On the far left is the NDT test we host at speed.measurementlab.net. It's available in multiple languages. So to see if your language is supported, you can add the two-letter language code after the main part of the URL. At the top right, we have Uni's integration of both the Dash and NDT test. And in the middle is our Chrome application, MLab Measure. Finally, at the far right, a link to our website where we have a page that lists several other integrations of NDT if you'd like to see more examples. So to give you a sense of how the tests work, I'll demo a couple of these next.